Hey lovies, welcome back. I pray and hope that everyone is faring very well in all of this craziness. So the last time that I left you guys, I was trying to give you tips on how to stay positive while in quarantine and did some self-cleaning and speed cleaning and things like that. Today's video is going to be kind of a lot of one-on-one talking. I want to share some things that are on my heart today. Whereas I would love to have a whole bunch of cool videos out for you guys. It's like the things that I really want to do or normally do. Crafting being a big one. I've kind of lost my zeal for that at the moment. I'm sure it'll all come back. I think it's because I really can't get out to the stores and pick up new spring things and things like that. And I'm just kind of in a little funk with that. I did order before it got like really serious. I don't know where you are in the States or in the country. Pennsylvania's gotten pretty serious here. We do have a shelter in place order. Our stores are bare. Like we literally cannot get anything. We have been trying and trying. The last little bit of toilet paper we got actually came from another state that my husband picked up. There was a short period of time there. I'm sure if anybody has husbands or they're a truck driver themselves, they know that a lot of the Flying J's and all those things, they stopped, they closed. And so the truckers didn't have nowhere to like stop and use the restroom, or if they were over the road truckers due to shower and things like that. Pennsylvania did pass a law because we were one of the states and everybody was freaking out. So they did pass a law to open up some places again along the turnpikes and things like that. So we did have another announcement yesterday by our Governor Wolf, that if things keep going the way that they're going and some people are not complying and things like that, he may have to take this from like a shelter in place where we have like, if you can stay home, stay home. But if you have to go to work, you have to go to the grocery store, or it's medical, you can come out. If we don't comply with those things, he was already talking about like he's going to make it mandatory, like 2-week shutdown kind of thing where you're like locked in. So he did tell us to like prepare in case that did happen. So we gave our son money yesterday. He had been off from work, and we told him just go wherever you can go to see if you can't find like toilet paper and water. The poor kid went everywhere. Like we have no toilet paper, we have no water, we can't find meat here. Like, it's a little crazy. It's a little fanatical. It's a little crazy. I'm not worried, though. I know we'll be okay. And some of the things that I did plan for my channel while, like, in lockdown, while in place, I had to take a week break because I was sick with bronchitis. I'm doing a little better. You might hear me, like, gasp a little bit, and my voice still sounds a little weird. I'm still, like, a little tight, like, right in here. And I have some moments with my chest where I'm just like, really? I feel like I have to constantly clear my throat kind of thing. It's weird. But I ordered like all these spring clothes from Romans. I thought it'd be cool to do like a spring Romans haul, try on thing. I ordered those stuff like over 3 weeks ago, and I still have not received the packages. I also placed an order on Book Outlet because I thought it'd be funny when this all first started happening about, you know, there was a potential of being locked down. We might be in 2-week quarantine, you know, excuse me, when it was still back, like they were still talking about it. Oh, my throat. Excuse me a minute. Okay, I'm back. I had to get something warm to drink. Anyways, when they were like talking about it and things like still like hadn't seriously been put into place yet, I thought it'd be really funny if I placed a Book Outlet order and ordered like a whole bunch of like doomsday post-apocalyptic or apocalyptic kind of novels and do like a haul. And I'm like, if I get quarantined for 2 weeks, I can read and all this stuff. That was like way back when, like that's almost like 3-4 weeks ago. I still have not received those either. So those are some of the things I had planned to do on my channel, like a book haul, maybe some book reviews, try on haul from Romans for spring. I even had some crafts and things planned, but I needed to get out to the Dollar Tree to pick some things up, and my Dollar Tree in my area had closed. So, yeah, that kind of put like a on everything. So I've kind of lost my mojo. Like I lost my mojo to do some things. But in this time, what I really wanted to talk to you about, I remain positive. I know this is going to pass. I don't know how long it's going to last, but we will come back to some normalcy at some point. But all of this has given me so much downtime to think about so many things. And of course it inspires you. Like, of course we're watching a lot of Netflix and movies, and we're doing family stuff, hanging out, stuff like that. So over the weekend, we thought it'd be really fun to like watch all like the post-apocalyptic movies we can find. So like we watched The Silence and The Quiet Place and all these like crazy shows, Contagion and all this stuff. And we're like, wow. So in all of that, it made me really like think like, even in real time, in real life, how quickly things are changing. I don't know how your area is faring, but our area is like really, really bad when it comes to food and water and just like basic supplies. My heart goes out. I see post after post after post of mothers who are completely frantic because they cannot find diapers, wipes, or formula. Like they are frantic. My heart's like, oh God, I can't even imagine. We are down to like our last like little bit of hamburger, which I just threw in the crock pot behind me. I'm making a huge batch of chili that hopefully will carry us through for a couple days. After that's gone, it's like, you know, we're going to have meatless dinners, but we'll be okay. But I get it. So going through all of this, I'm just like, you know, back in the day, sorry, my throat. There used to be this show called Preppers. I used to watch it religiously. And a lot of the stuff on there, you were like, okay, yeah. But now I look back and I'm like, wow, you know, right about now, I bet you they're sitting pretty. And they're laughing at all of us that were laughing at them for prepping, right? And even in watching these silly movies and things like that, I'm like, well, you know, stuff, I mean, not that there's going to be like bat-like things that come and eat us and aliens. You never know. I shouldn't say never, because as soon as you say never, stuff happens. But it's a little far-fetched, but you know what I mean. You just never know what's going to happen. I mean, if you can learn from anything from this, Sandy, hurricanes, weather, tornadoes, all those kinds of things, it wouldn't hurt to be a little bit more prepared than we were, at least for us personally. So a lot of my time has been spent on YouTube, of course, and reading as much as I can get my hands on how to be a little more prepared in disasters like this, whether they be natural, pandemic, whatever. I'm not announcing to you all that I'm going to become a prepper, but what I really am interested in is really homesteading. I find homesteading very, very positive and interesting. And whereas if you've been with me for any length of time, you know that like 2 years ago, my husband and I have downsized. We used to live on, originally it was almost 12 acres. We had sold like 4 or 5 off. So we had like 5.5, 6 left. And we lived in a huge, over 200-year-old farmhouse. We even had another house behind that, which we would be considered like a guest house, but that's kind of where our parents lived. Behind that, we had a huge shop, which was like a garage, but like much bigger than a garage. If I was to do homesteading, that would be the place to be homesteading. Like, cause I had tons of storage, tons of place, tons of property, big gardens, blah, 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 blah. But my husband and I got much older and when his mother passed, all that was left to us. And I am from the city. I may live in the country now, but I'm originally from Jersey girl, Jersey Shore. So like, I wasn't really into like, you know, spending a whole weekend cutting grass or, just the upkeep on a 200-year-old farmhouse was like, it was just nuts. So our final decision was we just need to downsize. Like the 4 of us, it was myself, my husband, and our 2 kids. We're like, we don't need all of this. So we did sell it. And what our thing was, we were like, you know, we can take this money and go buy another house smaller and, you know, have a mortgage, get into debt kind of thing again, or we can even go smaller than that. And we chose to even go smaller than that. So we bought a 2019 I think it was a 2019, either 2019 or 2018. I don't know, it was new. When we bought it, it was new. Mobile home. It was in 18 by 80 or something like that. I don't remember. I don't know all the logistics, but it was the biggest, like, big one you can get. And we do live in a residential, like, we call parks or community. So we're kind of restricted in what we can do here. So I was like, well, this would be really cool to try to learn how to homestead after downsizing, to have it in a downsized scale where you live in a community, because I think about all the people in the cities being from the city, like, you're in an apartment and all this other stuff. Like, how would you do this? And that's what really, really, like, interested in it. Yeah, that's a word. Really, like, got my wheels turning is a better word. And I'm like, I think I can do this. I really do. So the very first thing I did was I contacted the community's leader, whatever you want to call it. And the very first thing she said is, I'm not allowed to till up the ground. Whereas we own our home, we paid cash for what we bought. We rent the ground that it's sitting on in the community. So I'm not allowed to use the tiller. So I'm like, how are we going to do this? So I had some really cool ideas that I'm going to throw around with you guys. I might even take you, it's not a very nice day. It is actually very cold and yucky here. But this is going to be the very first day in over 20 days that I'm actually going to leave my house, because my dog Dozer has a vet appointment at 2 o'clock. He has to get his staples out from being neutered, and my family's working, so I have to do it. I have not left this house in over 20 days because I did catch viral bacteria. Yeah, that makes sense, miss. Viral bronchitis before all this got really bad. So it would be very unwise of me to go out in public, but I do feel like I'm over the worst of it. It has been over 20 days and I do have to go out. So I am going to take him to the vet, and I thought I would stop. We'll see. I'm even a little teary on this. We are allowed to go to the stores. We are to shelter in place, but we are allowed to go to, like, the few stores that are open and things. So it's not like I'd be breaking the law or something. But I just feel like it's not wisdom to do such things. But I might stop at Walmart and only go into their garden section to see if I can't pick up a seed starter. So I've been learning a lot just by watching videos and things like that. Best I can inform myself. And I really feel like I want to challenge myself to do some homesteading kind of things on a smaller scale, just in preparation for anything like this ever happening again. I almost feel like this is a test run, or like a test run of what may or could happen in the future if this would happen again. It could be a pandemic. It could be a natural disaster. It could be hurricanes, tornadoes. It could be anything. And I just feel like this is, like, just opens my eyes to see, like, we are really unprepared. And if I had been more prepared, we would be sitting in a much different place. And we might even be able to help some of the people, especially the older folk around here, a lot more than even. It's not like I don't have the money to help them, but seriously, even if they didn't have the money and I'm like, I can buy them some meat and toilet paper to help them, I seriously can't find meat or toilet paper to help them. So I can't even buy meat and toilet paper for myself, let alone them. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. But if I already had it, I might be able to help my grandma, my grandpa, things of that nature. So moral of the story is, no, I'm not going to, like, be a prepper, but I really want to explore homesteading on a smaller scale, on a downsized scale. So I was like, I'm already challenged. I'm not allowed to till the ground to have a garden, and being homesteading, gardening is a very big thing. And then all that comes with that is learning how to garden. And at the end, in harvest season, is canning, right? Then my next thing is, now that we are downsized and we live in a manufactured home, with 5 people, because now both my kids live with me, but my sister also lives with me. Where would you put anything that you harvest? So I was like, wow, we already have a shed. We bought one of those huge sheds that the Amish make, it's beautiful, but it is full. So that's out of the question. But I was like, what if we went and got a metal shed and butted it up against our big shed? It almost looks like a mini house. And buy the shelving that goes inside of those and the big Rubbermaid tubs and fill them and stack them in there. And that would be our place to stock, if you will, and put canned goods and things like that. So those are the kind of things that I'm exploring right now. And then my biggest hurdle is, how am I going to garden? So what I've come up with, which I think I'm going to be okay to do, is I think I'm going to buy 2 plastic baby pools. They should be abundant right now. And bring them home, drill holes in them, go down to the river, pick some river rock, line the bottom of the pools with river rock, put your soil on. We're going to quarter them off with 2x4s by wood. And then that'll section them off, and each section will have like a tomato plant or pepper plants or whatever it is that I feel like we're going to grow. And I'm going to go with 2 of them. I think that's a good place to start, because that's, there's just 5 of us, and I know there can be abundance, and I don't know, I feel like it's a good place to start. So I feel like that's how I'm going to get around not being able to till the ground, but I still want to have a garden. And the shed is a huge thing, being able to, when all of this lifts, be able to, if I ever find toilet paper again, put some toilet paper away, put some cleaning products away, some things that I can, when they have 2 for 1, putting 1 in the house and 1 in the shed kind of thing. So that this would be a good place to quote unquote kind of downsize homestead. So that was a really long explanation. I cannot believe it's been 17 minutes. I can't believe that I can talk this long, but I guess I can. So anyways, that's kind of where I'm at. I know this video isn't very exciting or anything of my kind of like normal. I can't get anywhere to try anything, like all of our Starbucks and all that stuff. All that stuff is closed where I am. I'm not sure where it is where you are, but here it's kind of like down to our bare necessities. We have a few restaurants, of course, one of them being McDonald's. McDonald's and like a few like Arby's. I know like our Wendy's and our Taco Bells and all that stuff's closed. So like it's pretty much bare here. So if it ever comes back to normal, which I'm believing it is, it has to come back. I just don't know when. I'm believing that April's going to be our turnaround month. I'm working on that right now in my bullet journal. And I'm also going to do a whole spread in my bullet journal on my plans to homestead, with a garden that I'm going to do in baby pools, and the shed theory, how to like organize the shed, shelving, how would I do that? And then I have to self-teach myself how to garden, what are the best things to do. And then when it comes time, I'm going to have to self-teach myself how to can. So these are very interesting things, but I think they're important things. And nothing may ever happen again in my lifetime. But even if that's the case, I mean, since I've been alive, we've had like 5 major events like this, 9/11, hurricanes, tornadoes. Like there's been some big things just in my lifetime, like 5 major events. So who's to say on the other half of my life there isn't 5 more that are even bigger than this, or that I can't teach my kids a few things, what's it going to be like? What could happen when they're in their 40s, kind of thing. So I don't think it'd be wasted, and I don't think it would be silly to do those kinds of things, because I remember thinking about when I used to watch those prepper shows and things like it. Some of it made perfect sense, and it would make you go, and some of it you just felt like was really, really silly. But I just know now that they're sitting pretty when the rest of us are panicking. And it's proven that the rest of us are panicking, because when you go to the store, there's nothing. That tells me you're panic buying, you're freaking out, you are worried, you are frightened, and you are afraid. And that's proof. So not that I'm worried about catching the coronavirus or anything of that nature. What I'm more worried about is everybody else panicking and doing silly things or rioting or looting or whatever the case may be. And like that you need to be prepared in. It's kind of self-sufficient kind of thing. Even to the point where I don't think it would hurt to even maybe get a kerosene heater, get some kerosene. You know, what if this had happened in the dead middle of like December, and we lost our power or something? I don't know. You just never know. I just know being in this situation, it definitely gets your wheels turning. And I won't give in to like fear and hysteria, but it definitely makes you think like, you know, I still have running water, I have electric, I have heat. We may not have all of the comforts that we're used to, but we have food, we're okay. And I'm very, very thankful and I'm very, very grateful, but it could be worse. And if it was worse, what would we do? Because if it was worse and we had to depend on the grocery store, we would literally starve because there's nothing there. Unless I'm going in with my guns blazing and I'm ready to shoot somebody for some toilet paper and bread, I don't know what we would do. Really and truly, I don't know what we would do. So I'm so thankful that it's not like that and that we are okay. We don't have some comfort. We don't have some necessities that I'd like to have. Like I would really like to have butt paper and not, you know, conserving the lost mate socks. We did laundry on Saturday and we had like 10 pairs of socks. Like, well, not 10 pairs. We had 10 socks without its pair. And I was going to throw them away. And my sister was like, you better not do that. Like, we haven't been able to find toilet paper in 2 weeks. It might come down to cutting those up and throw them in a bag. Like, you're absolutely right. So if it comes down to it, it comes down to it. But those are the kinds of things that kind of like sparked this. So I have just talked for 22 minutes. I just wanted to share this with you guys. If you guys have had any kind of like thoughts on your own, like where maybe you were thinking about like if this was worse or if this does happen again, if this is like just a dress rehearsal, like I feel like this is like a dress rehearsal for something that may come that's even bigger. And it's like I almost feel like God's showing us like, guys, you need to get prepared. Like, look what could happen, you know, and in the grand scheme of things, I mean, there's people out there that are really having some hardship. Like I said, my heart breaks for these women who can't find diapers and formula for their loved ones. And I know the elderly are having a really hard time. I've seen so many things where, you know, they don't understand why they can't get in to get a hamburger and they don't have cars. They can't go through the drive-thru. People are stealing things out of their carts because they're elderly and they can't run. They're on a fixed income. You know, they can't get out. They're reliant on other people. And they shouldn't be out because they're the ones that are so susceptible to get the coronavirus. It just breaks my heart. It breaks my heart. And, but I'm so thankful at the same time that it's not as bad as it could be. We still have electric. We still have power. We still are warm when it's cold. And we still have running water. We may not have the pleasantry of having toilet paper or, you know, meat with every meal, but we'll survive. We'll survive. But if something worse would happen, what would you do? So I just was going to put it out there. Like, have you guys thought about any of this? Has anything like this have crossed your mind? Has it inspired you to maybe do like prepping, homesteading kind of things? Gardening or canning, or maybe you already do those things and you're faring better than people who are panicking. You know, just like, let's have a little bit of a dialogue here. Open up your conversation. Tell me where you're at with all of this. I know a lot of parents are very frustrated. The state of Pennsylvania, the kids are supposed to return back to school this Monday. Wolf came on yesterday as our governor, and he has extended that for another 2 weeks. So that takes us like to the middle of April. And he even already put out, you know, a warning that if something doesn't change, it may be extended to the end of the year. Like no school till back till September. So even that's crazy. even that's crazy for parents having their kids home when they're trying to manage work. And then you have the other people who've lost their jobs. And my sister works at a call center for Columbia Gas, and she just comes home heartbroken because she just says it is phone call after phone call after phone call of people who are panicking because they lost their job in this, because their company, whatever, shut down. And they have no way to pay their bill. And whereas Columbia Gas has suspended, they can't turn them off. At some point, though, when this is all over, they're going to have to pay their bill. And if they're off all this time and don't have any income, how, at the end of this, that could be really bad. And then that's what President Trump, I think, is trying to keep from happening by sending out these stimulus checks. But the Democrats keep voting against it. So, I don't know where all that's going. So I know for a fact that there's people out there that have this much, much worse. And some of their panic is understandable, really and truly. I'm just so thankful and so blessed. And I hope you all are faring well. And for those of you that are not, my heart, it really, really goes out to you. But I really feel like I found comfort in thinking ahead and planning ahead and going, okay, I can't allow this to happen again. So when this breaks and we're in a better place and we can start going back to kind of like a regular life, it's time to prepare and be a little bit more wise about what could happen, because I just saw what could happen. And next time might be worse. And then again, there may never be a next time, but who knows, right? Who knows? So I have just gabbed at you for 26 minutes, and that is not how I planned this video to go. I was like, oh, I'm going to talk for like 5, and then I'll take them outside and I'll show them like where I want to put these pools and the shed. But as I'm sitting here thinking about it though, I'm like, well, there's really nothing to see because I don't have those things yet. So I think I'll just put this video out here as like, let's gab about the future. And when I get those things, I will do a video. And if I ever receive my Romans package, I will do a try-on spring haul for you guys. And if I ever receive my book outlet package, which I think I got like 8 or 10 books. I don't remember now. It's been so long. I will do a haul. But other than that, I really don't know what to be making videos about because I'm not really finding anything new to try, and I am really, really unmotivated to craft. I guess I just feel that way because it feels so insignificant in what's going on right now. I've been spending a lot of my time watching videos on how I can help myself and my family in future events, and spending a lot of time with my family and journaling. I don't know, I've been doing more things to help with my inner peace and inner being. Whereas crafting does help me do that, but at the same time, it just feels so insignificant with what's going on in the world that I just feel, I don't know, I just feel very unmotivated to do it at the moment. So if I get my mojo back and I want to share something with you guys, I will. But I think, I don't know what Friday's video is going to be, but I will figure something out. Maybe we'll do some laughing, funny cooking video of how you cook in quarantine or something. I don't know. I'll come up with something. But anyways, I'm going to go because I just like literally talked your ear off kind of about nothing, I feel. But I hope you guys can still hear my heart. So maybe we can learn some things together. So maybe my channel will kind of go like in a little different way where we'll be doing like Missy's little downsized homesteading. Maybe that'll become a new series on my channel. I'm really, really, really determined to learn and to do this because I really feel like it's important. So just let me know down in the comments what you guys feel about all of this. Be open and honest with me. Tell me your thoughts. How are you feeling? How are you faring? I think about all of you all the time and all of my loved ones, and we're kind of all separated. Most of my family's in New Jersey and what they're going through, and they're already in lockdown, and it's even worse where my mother and my grandmother and all them are. So I get it. But anyways, I'm still blabbing. This is going to be a half an hour video. So anyways, thank you for spending a half an hour, if you're still here, with me listening to my just thoughts. These are just my thoughts about what's happening right now and where I want to go for the future. It's always good to think positively about what's ahead. Don't get stuck where you're at or behind. Let's move forward. Another little Missy advice. But I love you guys. I'm thinking about you. Chat with me down below. Leave me some comments. Tell me what you guys think, and maybe if I do make it to Walmart, I'm teetering between it, like should I, shouldn't I, should I just stay away? But if I do make it to Walmart and I get some seed starter kits or something like that, maybe I'll do a video on that, or what I've learned, or whatever. You guys let me know if this interests you. I'm gonna leave it at that. Let's chit chat below. I love you guys. As always, take care of you. Do what you love. Do it large. I really hope everyone's well. I really do. From the bottom of my heart, I hope everybody's okay. Deep breaths, guys. Deep breaths. I will talk to you in another video very soon. Until then, take care of you. Bye, guys.